We've been sent back until Star Trek is done. Which, let's see, we have 3 more streams for Discovery, so we're almost done with Discovery. We're so close. And then, yeah, Prodigy next. That shouldn't take too long for Prodigy. It's only got 2
Hello
seasons.
there.
Hello there.
Hello.
Hi. So today, what do we have? We have Under the Twin Moons, which is the Arsenal of Freedom. We have Jinaal, which is Sub Rosa. And we have Face the Strange, which is... What is that? Is there a good TNG? It's... I was trying to think of a TNG one. It's Shattered from Voyager.
Yes, it is Shattered from Voyager.
Yes. It's a really good episode. I rewatched it recently. 10 out of 10. I rewatched it right after watching a season 1 Voyager episode, and oh boy, marked difference in quality. Season 1 Voyager hurts. Season 1 Voyager. Look, I know this is a Discovery stream, but if I can just rag on Voyager a little bit. Season 1 Voyager is the only show I actually gave up on. At least for a while. I came back to it eventually, out of like obligation to finish Star Trek. I was like, no. It got a lot better later, of course, but season 1.
And they brought in 7 of 9 and it got better.
It got so much better later on. Season 1 hurt. All right, so I do want to revamp Mark Twain a little bit. So here are his instructions. I guess I can share them on Discord as well. How do I... Where's the stop sharing button? Stop streaming, share my screen, notepad. Here are his instructions right now. So he has to be... He's no longer a fan of the animated series. He's a fan of Discovery. Do we want to get rid of the whale stuff? We have had a lot of
it
whale.
works, but yeah, it's a lot of whale.
How about this? Occasionally mention whales.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's have him love time travel episodes.
Yeah.
I don't think he knows about season 5. This might... I don't know if this is going to work.
We looked last time and it didn't.
True, but he also said that to us, and I don't know if I trust him in general. ChatGPT is very happy to just lie to you.
True.
I don't know. Maybe for Prodigy, if he hasn't seen Prodigy, I could just like paste the episode synopses into the instruction set. Jax, do you have any suggestions for what Mark's instructions should be? Also, I just realized that the Discord names are covering it. There's his instructions.
Maybe, I don't know. Who's his favorite character?
His favorite character? Who? Who's the most twin-like? Saru?
Yeah, Saru's quite train-like.
Sure, we can have him be Saru. All right, well, I'm going to get this into the thing because we have 50 seconds until the Twin Moons thing. So everyone be queued up to the Moons thing. And I will get this into his instruction set. And then we can always come back and modify it later if we want. All right, close that. Now where's his Python script? Here. Okay, Mark Twain is booting. All right, Under the Twin Moons, get ready to press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Hey, Mark, what's your favorite TV show?
Well, not unlike a humpback whale among fish, Star Trek. Discovery stands out among the kaleidoscope of televisual entertainments in this curious era. Its journeys through time, much like my own, are a riveting spectacle. Of all the characters, Saru strikes a chord in me.
All right, it worked.
Just ran through the new instructions
Yes.
one by one.
Basically.
That's fine. Look, what's important is that the changes actually took. I did save the file correctly.
Oh, okay.
I do like that. In
Recap
the
is a little bit
recap,
unfair to Rainer.
Yeah.
Like, they made the avalanche happen. It's not like he just made a bad prediction.
Yeah.
But he gave them the idea. Oh, I should also blur the screen. Whenever it's not blurred, whenever it's on the intro, it plays the engine ambient sounds, which I don't want going over the episode.
Hmm.
Michael, you couldn't even take like 5 minutes for a sonic shower? Come on. You're getting blood all over his office. Oh, that is the Orion Nebula. And it's gone. Ah, 6 digits. Oh, I believe, is that the Pleiades? I think that's the Pleiades. Yeah, we're up to 6-digit star dates because it's the future.
Well, it makes sense. So I was thinking only one more digit, but actually it does kind of make sense as each digit is a power of 10 more combinations.
Well, let's see. According to TNG, 1 year is 1,000 star dates. So they move forward 840,000 star dates, which would be 840 years. So that about tracks.
Yeah.
The same hologram of Salome. Is Salome how you pronounce her name? Yeah, it was a little sketchy to dig your starship into the ground, but hey, it worked.
Yep. Save the people.
Oh, we're gonna...
One last
Hang
mission.
on. Mark, I have terrible news. Saru is leaving the Discovery. He's gonna go hang out with the president of Navarre instead.
Well, spank my britches and call me a riverboat. Saru's exit hangs heavy on my spirit like a steamship lost in the fog. I reckon Starfleet's loss is Navarre's gain, but a humpback whale without its pod is a forlorn sight.
Poor Mark.
He's probably just picking up on any mention of the humpback whale, not and ignoring the
Hey.
qualifier before it.
Yeah, he does that. Hey, what hey? Answer the question, Mike.
It did feel a bit leaning towards the top nature of Starfleet a bit in terms of, yeah, we don't tell on each other.
Did it work? I mean, they did get away. Oh my god, dude, you can't just go with that's the way it's always been done.
Yeah.
That's the most cliche bad guy. Oh my god, all these young officers coming in these days, they have no sense of discipline. They're too soft. Oh, also, so this guy, his species, he is a Kelleran. He's from the Deep Space Nine episode about the Harvesters, where who was it? Julian and O'Brien were like destroying these flesh-eating micro robots, nanites.
Mm.
I think that was season 2.
Nice.
And then the Kellerans tried to murder them because, like, oh, nobody can have knowledge of the Harvesters.
Hmm.
So he's one of them. They did update their fashion sense since DS9, though. In DS9, they looked very 80s.
Mm. Do we know what he looks like out of uniform?
He's never out of uniform. Starfleet uniforms are designed for optimal comfort in all environments.
Mm-hmm. At least since season 3 of TNG.
TNG Season 1 uniforms are optimized for optimal discomfort in all environments.
They were trying something new. It didn't work.
What they were trying was back pain.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Second to last episode of the season.
No? What? This is the second to first episode of the season.
Yep.
Oh, we saw a book come back to life and everything?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're all good.
That was last week.
Yeah, that was.
We're
that
on
was-
season 5, episode 2. We're chasing Maul and Locke.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I forgot we did start season 5 last week.
And it hurt because we had a season finale and a season premiere in one stream, and each of them were like an hour and a half long. It's too much. It's too much.
Yeah, on the other hand, we're kind of lucky because like those episodes get big budgets. So
Apparently,
I don't
the
know.
mouse distraction works on book as well as the cat.
It's a kitty.
I do love how we never get any information on who Drudge actually is. Just
What do you
that she's a tween.
What do you mean who Grudge actually is? She's a cat. What do you want? What backstory do you
Just
want for a
like-
cat?
They just refer to her always as a tween. They just
How did-
never addressed as
how
to
did-
why.
How did you get the cat? Where did you get the cat from? Why did you name the cat Grudge? Well, because she's big,
Soma.
right? Because she's
Selma,
big.
Listen. If do you need a backstory for why Porthos is a good boy?
No,
No,
it's just,
come on.
it's
Hold on.
just the interesting
Respectfully.
way they refer to her is it's just
No,
it's
respectfully,
partially suggesting that she might be a particular species that he is the tween of, or that that's just what Brooke always
think
refers
it's
to
just a
her
pet
as
name.
just she's good. Yeah.
respectfully, they never use Porthos to enhance Archer's boyfriend drama.
Yeah, they do. They absolutely do. I remember one time they went to Ryza after like 5 episodes of saying we're going to Ryza.
Mhm.
And then his dog had a feud with the neighbor lady's dog
Yes.
and got them talking.
And the neighbor lady turned out to be a spy. Because of
Monster.
course.
Well, that's thoughtful. They're staying friends. For now.
Very close friends.
I feel like if you've been through that much together, you're gonna be friends.
So anyway, how's the weather? Is it nice and rainy?
It was chucking it down earlier today.
Nice.
You went Australian there.
Nice.
I sort of lost my ability to go British. I don't remember how. But I can do Australian.
It is a bit
guess-
easier for an American. Just
British was all the rage
have
when
to-
I was in high school. Everybody was talking in a British accent with their friends.
Posh accent.
It was a very common thing. And it's been
was
like
it
10 years
quoting
since
Monty
I've done it.
Python to each other?
What to each other?
Quoting
Monty
Monty Python?
Not
The
among my
comedy.
group, but they should have.
Yeah.
So I feel like once you started doing the gremlin voices for your RPG adventures, you kind of lost the British because you're doing more like the Gollum thing.
Well, I've always been good at Gollum.
One thing is though, I would suggest people should keep their Gollum impressions to a minimum. Not you, Ryan, just generally. Just because he's a very creepy character, so you don't want to hear the creep.
Okay, but what about a Smeagol impression?
Yeah.
I think yeah, it's even
Smeagol's
more creepy
cool.
because he's a little creepy too. But I mean, a talent is talent.
Because it's his birthday.
Oh my god. I can just imagine you eating fish raw.
Ah, the
Chameleon
Chameleons.
Battle Cruiser.
Aha! You remember TNG, right? They remember TNG.
But
Captain Picard, of course, had a Chameleon battle cruiser in a bottle.
Yep.
I don't remember actually, but thank you for reminding me.
That was
It's
the scene
the
where...
intake where I don't play with boys.
Didn't
I never
anyone
played with
here
boys.
build ships in bottles when they were boys? See, I only go British when I'm quoting Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, it's supposed to be French.
Oh,
Also, you have to emphasize the boldness a little bit more.
I do love how they made Patrick Stewart a very well-defined British actor, a French character, and then just let him be British anyway.
Yeah.
yeah. Also, this is very convenient for the plot. No, sorry, we can't actually beam you directly to the target site. There's subspace fluctuations in the tachyon field. You're gonna have to have an adventure.
I mean, that's how it always goes, right?
Look how much not like the Arsenal of Freedom this is. It doesn't look anything like the Arsenal of Freedom.
Mm.
I don't know why you would think that. Well, they're dead, so silent
like,
as the grave, you could say.
Sort of like the Chernobyl area.
Yeah, all this vegetation almost certainly didn't exist when they were inhabiting it. There's too much going on in this series to explain how he compensated for the cloak.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Maybe not the best cloak. Well, they are just like scavengers. Presumably they don't have the best tech. Maybe.
Yeah. It's perfectly possible to explain it as it's any cloak that's been used over the last 1,000 years, not a new one.
He's still sad about his ex-girlfriend, Colbert. That's how he's doing. We're starting the religion angle now. That's only going to come into play next episode, but we're getting some foreshadowing for it. Zora sounds a little different now. Oh, that wasn't part of their warp drive? They just felt like it?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Oh my god, yeah, I know you're talking about you and Michael book.
Yes, we're drawing parallels. And we do actively talk with them about the parallels later on in the
Yes.
season.
No. Last time we gave them a cliff, they almost destroyed a village and severely damaged 2 starships. You fool.
We'll try to be more metaphorical about it this time.
And
Okay.
less populated. Action through.
Best Buy.
You're
Yep,
together
5
for
years.
about 4 years.
Was it 4 years? I thought it was 2.
3, no. Yeah, 2 years, probably. It was a year before the season started. No, it's probably approaching 3 or 4. So we've got 2 seasons on
Okay.
together as well.
Of
Not-
course,
they
it was
weren't
Reno
in-
that gave him the nickname.
Yeah. They weren't in a relationship for the entire time, but they knew each other very well.
They were just roommates before. This is nice. There's a lot going on in this season, but we're taking some time to just walk through a lovely forest, have some exposition.
Yep. This season did go a lot more towards the sort of serialized TNG style. I mean, it is also continuing a TNG
I mean,
plotline.
It
the season.
did, but in the most annoying way. Like I don't know. Seasons 2 and 5 definitely felt like, hey, let's think of an over a season-long arc that will let us put in, like, let us serialize it.
Mm.
Which is just like, no, you do that by just having one-off episodes. Like you can just do that. Like this is what DS9 did. They didn't like, I don't know. It's not like they had to fight the war by like going to a new star system every week in order to advance the plot.
Hmm.
You just do one-off episodes. It's fine. So yeah, this season it's a treasure hunt. I just like, I know I like a lot about the season, but that overall structure was just like, eh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So, if I can't do British anymore, Soma, can you do American?
Yeah.
Not really.
Okay. You can be any sub-dialect. You can be Texan, you can be Californian, you can be from Boston.
I'm quite good at changing the intonation of my voice, but I am really bad at accents.
Okay.
probably could get decent accents, but I'd have to actually practice.
I thought I might be able to learn to do a British accent since I live here, and then I learned about long syllables being long here, and it's like, nope. That like apparently there are just details that were flying right by me that I'll never get. So
You've got plenty of time to learn.
I mean, if I actually like put my mind to it, I probably could, but it's not.
Well, the main thing for more well-spoken, not the exact opposite of
Well
well-spoken.
spoken.
The more common accents. Well-spoken, by that I mean common. Well-spoken, as you say it,
Oh,
talk
yeah,
about
yeah.
language means posh.
Right.
But the more common accents generally remove as many vowels as possible.
True. And the letter T just goes,
Yeah.
which I find funny. Of course, Americans just turn the T into a D half the time. Like it's funny. We don't think of ourselves as pronouncing it like a D. We think of ourselves as just not enunciating it. But no, it's indistinguishable from a D.
Yeah.
All right, we're on the hunt.
And soon it will be on the hunt for them.
Oh, that is what they look like. Wait, is that what they look like? No, it's actually specifically a plot point. That's not what the Bromelians look like. The Bromelians were just dudes with forehead prosthetics. This is a spooky one.
Makes for more places to put some eye shooting rocket thingies floating
Oh my god,
north.
why would you design it like this? Why would you make your combat drones eyes? More aesthetic defense systems? Yep, still not the Arsenal of Freedom. That was nothing like this episode. Yeah, very good battery life. No, just do the... In TOS, we had the ability to target right next to the crew. Come on.
Yeah. The drone destroyed its own historical stones in order to get them.
A battery of some kind. Cloaked antimatter? What? All right. That sounds illegal, my guy.
I mean, we started this season by Tilly literally hacking the most secure data in the entire Federation.
Yeah, but she's a
Starfleet
character that
anyway.
we know and actually likes already. This is just some rando. He's not allowed to do that.
Here we go, Jarrett.
Hmm?
Actually, it's not quite. They're technically using Federation databases rather than the sphere data, but
Oh.
Geothermal? Be nice and consistent.
That's probably sphere data. Or at least they're not calling it that.
I don't think this is sphere data. Like, Captain Picard knew this.
Yeah.
This is
Oh,
just
yeah.
known history.
Yeah, it's the Federation database.
Zora doesn't really pull on the sphere data this season, I don't think. She's just kind of...
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. The sphere data is noticeably absent, which made me happy. We did see a dot very briefly, but this episode, but it was.
It's just a room, but
I
man,
growled at it, but it was a passerby. It was not a major element.
Yeah.
sure you can.
Click the start button.
Oh, the big revelation is the power source is where the drones came from. We did it. You have to destroy the docking station.
The reason why they can't fire down right now is because they can only guesstimate where everything is.
Only 1,000 years? Wait, this is a... But this is a...
They were saying
Promelian site.
2000 earlier, so worst episode ever.
I really feel Tilly here, that she's gesturing at her monitor. They can't
Yep.
see her, but
Oh
I
yeah,
feel you.
Well, she
I
is
just gestured at
autistic.
my monitor while I was saying that.
Yeah. She is coded as autistic, and it's a very neurodivergent thing of no matter where you are, what you're doing, as long as you're talking, you are generally gesturing.
Is
is it a
that an
neurodivergent
autism
thing? I think
symptom?
a lot of people just
It's
talk with their hands.
more specifically, it's more often done with neurodivergent people. Everyone does do it,
Mm.
but it's a
Well, I'll
specific
add it
thing
to the
where you
pile.
do it more.
I'll put this over here with the rest of the symptoms.
Right. I remember when I learned about time blindness, and I was like, "Well, that's the thing I learned about this month."
I
that
sometimes gesture
Yeah,
when
my
on
life.
Teams calls only to realize straight after that the camera wasn't on. At least I wasn't on mute.
Yep.
Every time I hear about a symptom associated with neurodivergence, I go, wait, but doesn't everybody do that?
Right. That's true sometimes. Like TikTok has a way of convincing people
Yeah.
things are symptoms. Time blindness, I
That's
knew that
true.
was something weird about me. Just like how long it takes me to freaking do anything. Like my gym had a rule about not taking damn long in the shower because of me personally. Because I would just like space out and take
Yeah.
so long in there.
But with
Yeah.
showers specifically, a common thing is you don't want to get in them. As soon as you're in, you don't want to get out.
Yeah. Oh, that too, for sure.
Also, I'm really impressed by Saru's spines here. Biological spines absolutely destroyed metal alloys.
Mm.
It's like a tank got taken down by a porcupine.
Yeah.
I guess his
And some
spines
bones are
like
pretty strong, though, right?
hydrous.
Yeah, it depends on what it's made out of, biologically.
You can't swear on my Star Trek.
You could say damn. Jordy
they
said it
do
a lot.
In fact, let me see
I
how many
wonder
times
if
they did.
He broke that when he was running around, damaged the light strip on his uniform, or whether that's deliberate.
No.
It literally could be either.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, looks design, but I wouldn't have blamed them for saying, "Yeah, it's fine." It got beat up. It makes sense.
So I looked up how many times they say damn in TNG. So that's
Mm-hmm.
150, which
Wow.
is actually less than one per episode. I really thought it would be higher.
Yeah, that's not too. Does it have a breakdown by character?
No, I just searched
I'm
the
pretty sure
scripts
it
for
would.
how many times it appears.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Geordi would be the.
Dark comes. It uses dark
They're gonna use the
matter.
dark web. Oh.
Ah, of course, the dark web.
Which does run on dark matter, as everyone knows.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit these scripts up with some Excel formulas to pull out the character names. Then I can sort the character names, and I can give you a
Nice.
breakdown.
And then in 2 episodes' time, we see the exact difference between him now and him in season 1.
Everybody was so much meaner in season 1.
Yeah. The whole tone of the show was pretty different.
Oh, hey guys. Frankly, I'm surprised they answered the phone.
They don't know who it is. That's why. They want to make money.
Oh, we're outside.
We're in a lovely arboreal setting. Okay. So I found Picard says it 45 times, Riker 25, LaForge 22,
Really? All right. I guess Riker would have been my other guess.
and Dr.
Yeah.
Crusher 9 times.
So who was the first one?
And I just
Picard.
put the full list in Discord.
Jean-Luc Picard.
Damn.
I guess
Power
I
of
guess Picard just had
Excel.
the most lines.
Jean-Luc Picard.
Yeah.
Jean-Luc Picard.
45
So
times.
that makes sense.
Jean-Luc Picard.
Now I'm curious if you divide by the number of lines they had, but
I could do that, but
probably
it would take
puts
a little more.
LaForge ahead. Yeah.
He's trying
Be
to
my
run a show
guess.
at this. You guys are having crunch numbers.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Like,
LaForge
I
has a
bet
lot of
LaForge
lines.
still
They're just all
said
tech
damn the
gibberish.
most per word.
Yeah.
Jean-Luc Picard.
Surely Riker had more lines than him. Picard having twice as many lines as him sounds about right, or more than twice.
Sorry, twice as many lines as who?
I feel like Janeway is a bit of a potty
LaForge.
mouth in Voyager.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, Janeway probably would have taken it
Listen,
even per line in Voyager.
listen, she's got a lot on her plate. She's sick of everyone.
Bellboy?
Bellboy
There
is
was someone
presumably
called
the guy
Bellboy.
from Mark Twain episode.
Oh, Scott says it once. That's interesting. He's not addressed as Scotty in the scripts. Is that true of the original series as well?
I don't know. Well, to be clear, this isn't a script. This is a transcript. This is some guy
Gotcha.
went and wrote down everything that people said.
Well,
Here, there's-
frankly,
There's the
sometimes
full
scripts
thing.
can be wrong. because like it might be like a working draft. So I found like many times the scripts that are leaked on the internet are like
No, that's
annoyingly wrong. So
yeah, that's an interesting point. Yeah,
I would trust the transcript. I mean, Star Trek
we
is
do have
usually
published.
Mhm.
We do have published scripts for several of the Star Trek episodes, but yes, we don't know if they were the final form of things.
I mean, well, you're not technically right there anymore
Minus
because the
2
Romulans have joined with Nivar and who have also joined with the Federation. So they do actually have a historical claim to it.
Starfleet officers have multiple times used finders keepers to justify, like, withholding something from an alien race.
Also
It's
true.
like, nope, sorry, we found it first. It's ours now.
Sorry, can you cite something? Because usually we're trying to get something from the finders keepers.
Sure. Wait,
Just
no,
one
that-
should be enough. I'm not saying you have to do 3.
God, what's a good example? Why am I blank? I can think of one immediately where someone said
guess-
it to Starfleet, which was not Chancellor Martok, the Drothmeri captain.
I think the Bajoran
I feel like
wormhole would be
Archer
the
would have
prime
said it.
example. You know,
Would be most likely to say it. Maybe Janeway
why is that your
to
wormhole?
evoke finders keepers.
That's not even your space. It's like, yeah, it's our wormhole because we have a space station parked in front of it. That's why. We found it.
I can't remember the context, but I have a memory of Janeway saying in a particular inflection, salvage
she did.
rights.
She did.
Yeah.
I do remember that. I thought she said finders
Yeah.
keepers. But usually it's the Ferengi.
That's yeah.
Typical
her-
even Romulans, even the scientists of avant-garde. It's ridiculous.
Do you remember when the Ferengi found the Stargazer and they're like, "This is my ship, and I'll sell it to you"? They're like, "How? When did it become your
It
ship?"
is a gift, Picard of the Enterprise. Damon
That's a good impression.
Bach, was it?
Yeah. You did a good impression.
And then wasn't Quark his first officer?
Yeah,
Yeah, and then
because when he beams up, you see Quark's face. Well, Armin Shimmerman.
he was very upset there was no profit in it.
So I think last week I lost my train of thought. We were talking about some of these fiction plots, and I was saying because we have a longer arc, but I feel like a lot of television is going to be like a Dungeons and Dragons game because they have to go through like 8 quests basically to get to the preservers, like
Sure.
Starbase. And I can usually stomach it. It's just so obvious.
Yeah. No, it's just a
In
boring
this
way to
season-
structure a story. Like it's much
You
better
could-
to have a mystery being unraveled or some other way things are pulling forward.
This season is a D&D campaign.
It is. Yeah.
And by the way, it's a cool D&D campaign. So believe me, I'm not hating on it.
Yeah.
Because you know what it is? Scientists, an anthropologist, a botanist, a chemist, they each came up with their own different code system. So
Yeah.
only like science loving people can solve this preserver maze.
I mean, it's not so bad as
They
stories
go
go. It
into
just
each of
frustrates
the
me that
scientists. Sorry.
like I like season 3 so much because it had much more of a drive to it. We're not just connecting the dots where we're solving a mystery.
And then it's connected
The
to this
mystery
Maul and
felt-
Loke love triangle arc, which is like
Triangle?
well, it's a quadrangle because Book
You mean a
and
rectangle? A square.
it's kind of like a parallelogram because
Yeah.
Burnham
Really a
and
rhombus of a plot, if you know what I mean.
because even last season, remember they were at odds, right? I mean, he's back to life now, but they kind of played a poker game against each other. That was high stakes.
Okay, I'm still seeing 2 separate love line segments though, rather than any.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Okay, it's 2 triangles. It's 2 triangles that intersect in the middle, which is a parallelogram.
Are they triangles?
No, it's not a triangle. The triangle is the intersection between their love.
You
They
see,
even-
Book loves Michael, but Book also loves Maul, but in like a
Yes,
family sort of
yes,
way, as
in a
opposed to
father
roommate
kind of way. Yeah. Thank
Uh,
you, Ryan. I forgot about that element.
Or they kept continuity of
It's like
Saru's
that's just like
flashing lights.
a relationship and a friendship with the same.
No,
Anyway.
well, actually, sorry to say, but Ryan's 100% right. The thing is that Maul is
Yeah.
the only person he cares about because that's who
It's
he was
not-
named after, his daughter. So he like, there's only two people he loves in this world. That's like the book guy, Booker, and therefore his daughter, ergo his daughter, and also
It's
Michael
not
Burnham, of course.
okay. It's still not a love triangle.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're right about that. You were saying some of the flashing lights are consistent in this.
On Saru's
Mhm.
outfit, his action gear, his right lights are still flashing. So it's it kept continuity, whatever happened.
I guess that's from when he got hit in the arm, because I think it's just that one
Yeah.
side flashing.
Yeah, it is certainly. This is a big brain season.
your
They would have
boyfriend.
gotten that correct. It's all about scientists doing a maze for people 100,000 years in the future.
What was the name of Kirk's baby mama?
Dr. Carol Marcus.
Yeah. That was a love triangle. Captain Kirk, Carol Marcus, and the Enterprise.
Yes.
But you see how like he loved the sun too? Well, that was his son. But like
That's not. That doesn't count as
comparable.
an arm of the triangle.
Yeah.
Look, moving on from the love triangle, it doesn't matter.
What shape it was.
There's love involved somewhere in this season. Don't worry about it.
There's two baby mama dramas. One is like a Breen political faction, and the other is
A ghost,
former
like the one you're going to see next episode.
Yep.
a coast
Ghost.
ghost. Oh,
Colbert's going to light that candle. I think he literally does, actually. I think there is a candle involved.
and I do like the final star base. You know that we arrive at, whatever that preserver thing is inside the black hole. The station powered by.
Maul.
But
Oh. Oh, so she just shortened it. Okay.
oh, that's cool.
So what does that make us? Nothing.
No, that's the thing. If you have, and remember, his planet was genocided, also, right? So, if you have nobody, no family, no kin, no
Genocide was a
friends,
harsh word. It was mined.
yeah,
They just gathered some of the materials.
cold would also be an appropriate word.
Oh, that I believe was the Susser dagger from Baldur's Gate 3.
Did we already do the suicide scene where he doesn't commit suicide, like Worf?
That was in like season 1, man. What do you mean?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
It's the same room though, right? I think
Yes.
we don't see his bedroom too much.
His very misty, very humid bedroom.
Planty bedroom.
Is that his bed
You
in the
know-
background that's covered in moss?
Mm-hmm. Or a table. You know, you don't want dinner without moss on the table. But you know,
now
I
they're
wanted to
talking
say
about the suicide.
Yes.
the attempted euthanasia.
Would that even have killed him, or would it? I don't think it would have done anything if she cut it off.
He would have just cried like a.
It just would have hurt.
He was like, I got my ears pierced.
Hey, Mark, who do you think should replace Saru as first officer?
Tilly.
They could have made some good soup afterwards.
Methinks a
Oh, morale.
soul like the capable Ensign Tilly stepping into Saru's boots would be akin to a fledgling humpback learning the whale song. She's a fine second mate, but still wet behind the ears. Time, as they have toyed with in the series, will only tell.
Why did you say Tilly if you're not even going to endorse her? You say she's not qualified. Why would you say that?
Yeah.
In a
I
couple
mean,
of
it's very
years.
like AI to come with a lawyerly non-answer.
Yeah.
Okay, what can I put in his
It's funny
instructions to
because
make him
Tilly
stop
in
getting
last
mad?
season was made as a first officer.
Let's see, Mark,
think
you
the show-
always give
the show-
decisive answers. Let's see if that works.
The show distinctively set up Tilly for that role, so that's why it's the only answer Mark could give, if he's really synthesizing what we already know. That AI is getting smarter.
I don't see a lot of evidence of that in Mark Twain anyway.
Smarter is an interesting choice to add a phrase for that. It's not actually
Yeah.
increasing intelligence; it's increasing in ability to make stuff up.
Predictions, yeah,
Yeah.
based
All right,
on.
I adjusted his instructions to hopefully make him more decisive. Let's see if he can give an answer now. Okay, Mark, Saru is leaving the ship. Who do you think should replace him as first officer?
When we were in Saru's room, I was reminded of this YouTube channel where this guy keeps ants in his
Would be
house.
grand to see an officer with Ensign Tilly's pertinacity seize the helm. That lass is as generous as a humpback in summer, steadfast as the Mississippi. One more.
Oh, I've heard
plucky
that
than
expression
she.
so many times.
Yeah.
Okay, wait.
Okay.
I've never heard of the humpback being in the Mississippi though. That's too much.
No, the humpback, those were two separate metaphors. Well, similes,
Yeah.
technically. Generous as a humpback, and steadfast as the Mississippi.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I crossed it in my head. I was gonna say in the Saru room with the plants going on. So this guy, a number of people on YouTube, they keep an ant farm and they talk about like, oh yeah, I put my ants in a new colony because they got too big for
LOL,
it.
not giving up on Tilly and always talking about humpbacks.
He at least made a real decision there. That wasn't a non-answer. That was a clear
I'm
endorsement.
pretty
for
sure
Tilly.
that comes from Tilly being the first officer in the last season.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We don't get the command insignia in the uniforms that we do clearly from TNG. Like Wesley was clearly command.
Oh my god, is
You
that a
know,
zipper?
LaForge was not.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And also, that telescope, I wonder where they got that from.
Even
Behind.
a real telescope that looks.
Well, Forge was
That looks
commanded in the
fake.
first season.
Oh yeah, that is a real.
Yeah,
thing.
that's what it was. Is it one that they just made a tune for?
Sorry, what
Why
did you say
would
about
their
LaForge?
aperture be shaped like that?
Oh yeah, he was.
Oh, he was
command.
commanded
Yeah.
first season.
He was. I stand corrected. He was even. Well, he could have been security too, right? 'Cause
Yeah,
security
season
was
one of
red.
TNG is very
Red was-
loosely canon.
No, security is always
Worf was
gold.
red. Worf was red when he was engineering or whatever the back of the bridge is.
When Worf was red, he didn't really have a role. He was just kind of there.
Yeah.
LaForge is the same.
Neither did
LaForge is-
Geordi, really.
Yeah, I feel like LaForge is that same. So that would be command
Or
track, right?
O'Brien as well.
So that's command track. We don't know what else we're gonna do with you. So you're gonna be command.
Yeah, I guess.
The only people who actually had roles were Picard, Riker,
Tasha.
and Tasha, and Crusher.
No, Troy was also officially counselor.
No, Worf
Yeah.
was like ops, right? Chief security. Something
No,
like that.
so here's the thing.
But even Diana as counselor was her role. She wasn't.
She was more
really
like
much
captain's
else.
advisor. Yeah, she was like a
Occasionally,
consult-
Worf was at the helm, but most of the times he was just kind of hanging out.
Okay, so in my head, right,
The helm was usually
LaForge
Sure, he was
someone.
there too. Yeah.
or someone, some ensign.
Oh, that's right. He was at the helm sometimes.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though,
It's usually unnamed ensign who was
yeah,
helming.
later seasons especially. But what I was saying in my head, though, right? The role of chief of security and tactical would be two different things. So Worf would have been
Tactical.
tactical officer at some point.
Yeah.
Clearly not when he's at the
Oh, that's right,
engineering,
tactical officer. Yeah,
but clearly
yeah. It's
not at
not
the
clear why that
engineering.
should be the same person, but it's always implied that Worf is head of security, right?
Later on, it does become the same person. When Tasha dies, Worf does both roles.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
I can solve this conundrum. Mark, what is Worf's job in season 1 of TNG?
We just had fun reliving the crazy uniforms and the spandex.
Yep.
Well, lad, you've put the cart before the horse. Worf, that stalwart fellow, does not hold a specific post in season 1 of Next Generation, merely a junior officer, not yet the chief of security. His promotion came after the grief-stricken exit of one Tasha Yar.
Nice.
Something fun I learned. Well, not fun. So when Worf joins DS9, Kira thought her character would have less of a role, and it makes sense because she's the tough guy, the badass.
Oh yeah,
But
that
fortunately,
makes sense.
yeah. But she's the one to
Turns out
break
to
the
be-
table, you know, with her bare fists.
Yeah.
Also,
Or like-
this also harkens back a little bit to TNG. This is the reason that Riker was chosen as first officer.
Yeah.
Picard said. Because Picard specifically wanted someone who would challenge him.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense.
Well, Admiral...
It's also,
And also
it's also
Chakotay
why
as
Data
first
chose
officer
Worf
was
specifically.
similar,
as first
right?
officer.
Admiral Phasing Cloak did not agree.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name.
Putting Maquis in as first officer in Voyager was a similar
Yes.
thought, right?
And Data choosing Worf as first officer, though Worf overstepped that slightly.
Oh, that's
So-
right.
She threatened to demote him.
That was interesting.
Wait, could you repeat that, Soma? I missed the last thing.
Data chose Worf in the episode where he was commanding the Enterprise,
Yeah, well,
specifically because Worf would challenge him, but then Worf challenged him a bit too much. And
Yeah.
Data then said, yeah, I put you in this position because I want you to challenge me, but not to erode confidence in me in front of the crew.
Right, that was a lot of it. It was not following protocol, which was kind of interesting. Yeah. And it's true, Riker really, like, he wouldn't have disagreed with the captain.
Does
Public-
Riker
like,
even ever
publicly.
disagree with the captain in private? I don't think that ever happens. I think Riker is a
They don't
yes
have-
man.
No,
Also, hang on, hold that
I
thought.
don't think so.
4, 3, 2, 1, play.
I don't think so. I feel like in in ready room scenes he would
I feel like
At
the
least
only time would be like,
push.
Captain, you can't go on the away mission because I'm gonna go. That's it. That's it. That was our biggest disagreement of who gets to go on the away team. You know who always wins
Yeah.
that one. So, but the thing is though, see, in an
Yeah,
ideal,
Roddenberry sort of overtook that idea of
yeah,
we don't want to have this interpersonal conflict.
no, ever.
Oh, that's true.
What about that whinging first officer Data had on the Sutherland?
Ugh.
Yes.
He needed
Data
to
didn't
be
get a
removed.
choice in that one.
No, but you know what?
No,
Actually,
Data did get a choice. The dude wanted to quit, and Data's like, nah, man, you're stuck with me.
True.
permission denied. Like, get over your feelings. You're a Starfleet officer. Do your job,
Leave your bigotry in the quarters. There's no room for it on the bridge.
snowflake.
I don't
Bigoted
think Data called him
snowflake.
a snowflake. That doesn't sound accurate.
Bigoted snowflake. Do your job. Your butt hurt because you have to serve a robot.
He's an android, not a robot.
You know, so I gush over that episode because it shows that Data is so command level. Like
Yeah.
he knows how to pick
No, I-
EXO. He knows how to. And by the way, remember he stood up for himself. He asked the captain. He said, "Captain, everyone else is getting like a temporary command of a ship in this fleet, and you forgot about me." And he's like, "Oh, I did forget about you." You gotta ask your boss for that promotion. You know. Let's go, boss. Been working here 8 years. Haven't gotten a raise in 5. I need to head this department now. Otherwise, do you not think I'm ready? Because I'm already running the ship. But okay, I wanted to say about Riker and Picard. The XO's job is to do day-to-day operations of the ship,
Yes.
and the captain's job is to make those decisions like, do we cross the neutral zone at the risk of starting an interstellar war?
Well,
Um,
there is at one point, I don't remember who says it, but it says the job of the XO is to carry out the orders of the captain.
That was Data to Worf.
Yeah.
okay,
It's
but
all coming
you know
full
what though?
circle.
The thing. But actually, that's pretty amazing because, like, I don't. You can never truly delineate it, but someone has to handle the paperwork while the other person's like, "All right, we're not going to launch the missiles because until we confirm the Russians have already fired."
So I appreciate that Michael here is actually considering
Yeah.
that he's too emotionally close to this after 4 seasons of her being too emotionally close to a lot of things and insisting that she be the one to go. But she fell for it. Michael, no. You've been on the other side of this so many times.
Well, it worked out in the end.
Oh, so they're not together at this point, right? Because they agreed to like be apart.
Yeah, they broke up.
No, they just agreed to spend some time away from each other. They didn't break up.
They totally broke up.
They're just seeing other people now.
They're
We're
just
free to see
spending
other
some
people.
time apart permanently, seeing other people without each other.
They're not even seeing other people. They're just allowed to see other people.
Ooh, what is this? 1.25 or AU distance?
In other words, not unique completely
Wait.
anyway.
In DS9, they're unique because they're hand painted on, and I'm pretty sure the person who applied Jedzia's didn't have like a stencil, so her spots changed from episode to episode.
Yes.
Hopefully, it was a little baby at this time.
This is like a Captain Planet episode, like each of them have a different power. Well, the scientists are like Captain Planet's Avengers, basically. They each have a different power. You got to figure out what their unique thing is. Like, this is the one where they meet those like hostile creatures that really aren't hostile.
Some weird aliens with guns just walk into your home
Where
and
you
then get
rear
all
your
mad
young.
that you're upset about it.
By the way, I also really like their relationship. They remember in the first episode of the season last week, she didn't want to endanger the population to chase Mullen Locke, and he was okay with like raining rubble down on innocent people, and he was reprimanded, and that's why he's the first officer. But he's not. Look, his goal was to fulfill the mission, right? Which is capture those fugitives. In a way, if we listened to him, we would have captured the fugitives already. We wouldn't have this long season, unnecessarily long
But we
season.
would have killed Michael.
We would have killed a whole bunch of innocent people, but we would have gotten the fugitives that we were looking for, and that was the mission. So, mission accomplished.
There's the postman's whistle.
Yeah.
Oh, Octopus Head got a name. We swapped out a lot of people. What happened to most of our... What happened to everyone else? Where's Kayla? Where's Bryce? Where's
Yeah, they
Where's Owo?
not in most of the season. There were reasons for Detmo, I think. and
I think they show a lot of people at
What else?
Starfleet Academy too. Tilly's at Starfleet Academy.
yeah, today's the Starfleet Academy, but at least 2 of the members in the season were doing other things. I don't know about the other ones.
I need a coffee.
Never mind introducing new first officer. There is a whole new bridge crew.
That is a good point.
We do have more aliens on the bridge crew now. We've got a bit.
Thanks for this reminder of the good times before Trump's fascism returned.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
What? That comment has nothing to do with where.
It's
What?
because this show came out before the election, basically.
Oh, okay. Everything's coming back.
That does kind of account for the total shift in the show, doesn't it? Like during the Trump administration, the first Trump administration, God help us, the show was considerably darker.
Guys, I watch Star Trek to get away from all that nightmare.
Yeah.
You
Dystopia
watch
that
Star
we're
Trek
in
to get
now.
away from politics?
No, to get away from the fact that we're gonna have a second administration.
Yeah.
I don't want to be reminded, but okay. Reno, you know what? Fun fact: so
She
Reno's
just swore on my Star Trek. That's illegal.
Reno's a really interestingly named character because Bill Clinton had a woman attorney general named Janet Reno, and the militia types hated her because she was basically attorney general. She was laying down the law. You can't occupy federal territory just because you're a rancher, and they hated her. But anyway, this Reno's a tough.
Season 3 guy.
Yes.
Yep.
I wonder if his spots are the same as before. Probably not.
They didn't look the same to me. I thought they were understated in this shot. But okay. Oh, they have a riddle.
There's a secret password.
There's a riddle. This is a D&D game.
North.
Yeah.
No shit, Sherlock.
So they're doing all the homework for Lock and Maul. This is so the whole planet knows the secret. It's been handed down for 800 years.
No, it's just this one old guy. He's
Okay,
the,
but for
the
800
wise elder.
For 800 years, the wise elder is like, one day someone's gonna come. They're gonna ask you about this one guy, and you have to ask him a question that's gonna be Beta Z is the answer.
Man, they didn't tell him nothing.
Yep.
Okay.
Tedious.
Yeah, very tedious. It's it's kind of like in Dune 2. Well, I don't want to spoil it because Ryan hasn't seen it. So just
I still
I've
need
read the
to
book,
watch
I haven't
the
seen the
first
second
one.
film.
sorry, would you say something?
I've read the book, so I know what's going to happen in it. I haven't watched the second film.
Okay.
Is Captain Picard
no.
in it?
No, he's only in the original film.
So
Wow, nearly 11 minutes before opening credits.
Oh, that's far from the longest we've had, even the last few weeks.
These are somewhat longish episodes as well. This is 55 minutes long.
Wow.
Sheesh.
we have to have Trill drama. The Trill are just like
That's Maul ship.
I only say sheesh because we're watching 3 in a row. It's good when you're watching just one of them a week, but
when I was young, Star Trek episodes were only 45 minutes, and we used to cry
Back
over
in
that.
my day.
Why couldn't we have a 55-minute episode, huh? Why were they
The reason is
all?
because of syndication, and you have to
Yeah,
have
I was gonna
15
say.
minutes of ads.
No, I'm just saying. You know,
You
you,
have
Because time
guys,
slots
exactly
were a
this
thing.
time slot.
you guys don't
Yeah.
know how good you have it. That you're complaining that like
The
episode.
nice thing about streaming is you can make an episode exactly how long it needs to be.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, some of the best episodes of previous shows have been because they've either had to take things away or put things in to make it to the correct time. Like Window of
Right.
Opportunity, the best in Stargate SG-1, the best parts of that were because they had so little script, they needed to add more bits in, just made fun. Had a lot of fun there.
So my criticism of that would be, you know, it's going to be a little formulaic because not only is it 45 minutes, you have like 4 commercial breaks that are
Yeah.
at specific times. So to me, it annoys me a little bit. I'd rather have like 11 minutes than the opening sequence.
Yeah.
No, there were shows that did that back then too.
Mhm.
Battlestar Galactica had a 12-minute cold open once. Alias was famous actually for going really long before the, like 15 minutes regularly before the opening titles.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So it can be done even in
It could have been done.
network television.
They
But
Paramount
but it did. It
created
was the
Star
hard
Trek.
episode length was hard limit. Yeah,
Paramount
except for the
created
Buffy musical, which went long.
Paramount created Star Trek for syndication, so there's
Yeah.
never been
Yeah.
a show that didn't follow that formula.
I think. Well, I don't know if would networks have cared that much about
It's more work.
a long
I used
teaser. Is like as
I-
long as they get to put in the commercial, all the commercials they want.
True.
I felt like ABC affiliates would have been less happy than other syndicated networks, syndicated things to show to have a long teaser.
Is this the same cave set from TNG and DS9, or did we finally get an upgrade?
Oh, we're absolutely going to love his acting in this episode. It is great.
I don't think this is a set. The background looks
Oh,
fake.
this is the wall. Okay, the
Yeah, I
volume.
think that's the wall.
Yeah.
But also, no, we definitely do not have the TNG set anymore. That was 40 years ago.
Yeah.
True.
And they tend to destroy sets after the end of a series. Not just because they need the set space for the new series as they're filming, but also because, as a general principle, rule of thumb, you destroy most things from it, so they can't be used for other stuff.
Generally, I would call out President Sharina here. Is like, oh, great, you gave him a responsibility. Great job. But no, we know Saru. He's all about plans.
Yep.
She knows what he likes. She did her research.
I think this is where we start to get the stuff about the wedding and not needing to do that. Yeah, here. Announcement stuff.
Handsome and erudite.
I don't know if
Oh,
this is supposed to
how
be
romantic.
cute. Is this supposed to be endearing, or is this supposed
Wouldn't
to
you
appeal
like to be
that
called handsome and erudite?
at my own wedding? I mean, no, you can take it out. People who know me know me. You don't have to tell them that I know how to read.
Those who know him loved him. Those who did not know him loved him from afar.
I want the Data's ode to Spot at my wedding. Felis catus is your taxonomic nomenclature.
How does that relate to a wedding?
That'll work.
Are you marrying a
That'll
cat?
work.
What's happening
No.
here? Hey Mark, can you recite the first few lines of Ode to Spot? I'm just curious if he knows it.
By the way, I love how it's really. I thought it was
Indeed,
really good
'tis
poetry.
a pleasure. Felis Catus, Is your taxonomic nomenclature an endothermic quadruped, carnivorous by nature? Sounds as fanciful as a humpback whale's song, don't you reckon?
No, I don't reckon.
So that was written by AI before there was AI.
Yeah, Teddy just leapt into speaking freely without being actually receiving permission.
I like, yeah, the good catch. The thing is, I love this scene
Yeah.
because he's a hard ass and he is following her advice.
Just
But
one,
here's-
technically, I did not touch that. That was Trent Torture who talked about it in their review of it. It was an interesting point.
No, I mean, you're supposed to wait for permission to speak
Yes. Yeah.
when you ask for permission to speak freely. Granted.
God, I'm just remembering what happens here. The theme of the season is long distance relationships don't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what, though? You're happy for both of them because Gray's doing his thing, Adira's doing their thing.
And seeing other people separately without each other.
Yeah, there's another love arc, if that works. 3 love arcs here.
Yeah.
They were a great couple as long as Gray was physically incapable of leaving.
No, look, the exploitation's the other way. One person, Gray just used them for a body, Adira for a body, and then they were like, thanks
Bye.
for the thanks for letting me hitch an astral consciousness ride. Astral plane
See,
ride.
there is a candle. They lit that candle. And they'll bring the ghost.
Okay, I didn't know I didn't have the foggiest idea what you guys are talking about when you said there's gonna be a candle, but now I know.
There's it's not a candle, it's a condle.
I'm not even
that flipping Irish episode.
Scottish.
Scottish, yeah. Even so,
Is he Scottish? Who
I don't know.
played Ned Quint again? Was he an American?
It was a Scottish ghost, and it was a Scottish church and
Oh,
a Scottish
right.
village.
No, Ned.
Hmm.
You're both right because Ned Quint, the Scot, was played by Shay Duffin, who's Irish.
Ah.
I mean, they're both Celtic languages, so you know, you're. It's like Spanish and Portuguese, basically.
What are you doing with your voice, Hugh?
Okay, so he's a hunk. He know when you're hot, you're hot. You know you're hot, and you can just walk around with your shirt open.
He doesn't know
and just
anything
show-
about how he looks. What do you mean?
No. Well, that's the persona the scientist has. He's like, baby, I just need a motorcycle and a leather jacket, and I'll take you to Tinseltown.
The hospital, mostly, if you're on a motorcycle.
He's very cocky and very self-confident, and he's very suave.
I like how uncomfortable. What's the
Michael
name?
is.
I don't know. Blue is with this whole situation.
Adira.
Adira, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God I don't have to go.
Also, this is effectively her dad, who's now being very sexy. Well, their dad, rather.
That's true. Imagine having like a nerdy dad, and all of a sudden he's like, Casanova, just like.
I mean, the dad's always been what I would say. He's never actually showcased that as he's doing in this episode.
No, right? He's
Wait,
always
what was
the
that
married
dinosaur?
man.
What was that? Was that a Voth?
That was a Saurian. They mentioned them before, maybe.
But but Linus is a Saurian. He doesn't look anything like that.
Oh, Linus is a Saurian? I didn't know that.
I think he is, right?
That's something else.
There's at least 2 dinosaur species.
Yeah, that's not a saurian though. I take that back.
I think that's a Voth.
Yeah, like without the. No, it could be the Vidians without their. It was hideous. No, that is a saurian, by the way. From the there's one saurian and there's one something else. That's why we're confused. One is like a pink dodecahedron.
I'm talking about this guy on the left who's just a dinosaur.
Yeah, that guy's a saurian.
Yeah.
That's a
That is-
dinosaur.
That is a different species from Linus. Linus is a saurian.
Yeah, but there's herbivores, brachiosaurs, brontosaurs.
Those
We
are
don't
all
know the
different
difference.
species.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
all under saurian though.
No, saurian. In Linus's case, saurian is not a taxonomic descriptor. It's the name of the
Oh.
specific species that he is.
I thought the saurians were the dinosaurs that left Earth and they became spacefaring in
Those
Voyager.
are the Voth.
No, weren't the Voth the people with the underground transwarp tunnels?
That was the Vaudoir.
Okay, thank you. So I'm getting confused. Okay, gracias. Thank you
The
for the
Voth
correction.
were saurians with a lowercase s. Linus is a saurian with an uppercase s.
I guess like changeling and changeling, right? We don't want
Yes,
sometimes we
there's
can
like 4 different species of changeling, and it's confusing.
right. And then when we say changing with a capital C, hey Robo.
Whoa.
Your augment is a touch circuitous. Savage. Oh, so
are you
he's racist. Got it.
Mhm, a
Oh
little.
no, is that the logic extremist?
And who does
Sorry.
the brandy?
Wait, so 800
Wait,
years?
it's not racist. That's specious, right?
Possibly.
Sure.
Yeah, whatever.
It's xenophobic in whatever
I mean,
case.
Whatever.
race itself is kind of an
Xenophobic, there you
imaginary
go.
concept, so like I guess it would be
Is this
phenotypist.
Jonathan Frakes again? Did you direct this episode, John? Stop with the
I-
upside
oh,
down camera.
I don't think it's an imaginary concept.
Um,
I think there are distinct genetic differences.
this is the same quarry
It's
where
not.
DS9 had the Defiant crash and that guy Hernandez was killed. Well, this is the same quarry as Darmok and Tanagra.
This seems really sketchy for Jinaal to have hit it here. Not because it's dangerous here, but because you're really counting on a specific alien to continue nesting here for hundreds of years. Like, what if someone built a condo here?
So many quarries. It feels like watching Doctor Who.
Like, you can see the stone being hewed. It's not even subtle about being a quarry.
Mm. But then a different quarry to the normal one.
But everything, we have so many quarries. It's quarries all the way down.
Well, one of the good things though, quarries.
Oprah have a sore throat today.
Winds howling.
You're so funny. Gyrinx with the sore throat. He's doing the sexy voice, man. You don't know a sexy voice when you hear it?
I mean, if you've never had a sore throat that made your voice sexier, I definitely had
Yeah,
that before.
it's true. My voice gets like
It's-
twice the sexy
Yeah.
when I have a cold, right?
He's going a little bit Batman here.
Yeah.
You suppose Kate
Batman,
Mulgrew
not,
just has had a sore throat like
not
for her
Adam West
entire
Batman.
life?
I'm not wearing hockey pads.
This is all another test.
Voices like that, I could not really take Witcher 3 seriously because Geralt just sounds like he's trying too hard.
Yeah.
Trottle was great though.
Wow, Commander Reese,
So,
you're back.
your boss says
I love
you need
Commander
to have a
Reese.
chat, but you need to do it in 140 characters or less.
So, a tweet?
It's kind of ridiculous to be told.
Do you have ships and bottles when you were a boy?
I didn't play with boys.
Usually Mouse is really one of us.
Toys. I didn't play with toys.
I did, sir.
So,
Thank you, Mr. O'Brien.
your junior officer used 22 words instead of 20 words, and you just called him out for that. This guy's very unlikable. I have a feeling that we're
Pongo,
gonna like.
you guys remember Deep Space Nine, right? See, that's a Saurian.
Yeah.
He even just said it. He's a Saurian.
Yeah.
He's a daddy. Or
Could've
mom.
The
been done in the
Saurian
file, though.
from Voyager?
Nelson's on Voyager.
Yeah.
From Voyager?
No,
Yeah.
they're different Saurians.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Reno's great, as always.
I do always love Reno. It's a shame she didn't show a bit more.
Yeah.
So, in his defense, he's working. So we need to find and
He
track.
wants to get through this as quickly as possible, meet each of them as quickly as possible, so he can get back to finding Motton Law.
He's not a people
Or
person.
Molly Lot, rather.
In my opinion, he's basically doing the role of Captain Edward Jellicoe.
No,
You know,
I kind of like the 20 words that I couldn't have read in my file thing. That's actually like, I don't know,
Insightful.
kind of nice. There's something
It's
good
nice,
about that.
but you would then want to have a conversation after that point.
That's
You
fair.
kind of do. You kind of
He's
do.
memorizing the information, but he doesn't actually care.
Yeah. Or like he's told that he has to meet with the crew, so instead of actually bonding
So,
with them and meeting with them, he's just doing it as a formality.
It does show that
Yeah.
he does sort of kind of care about the crew, and he does kind of is actually decent at connection even at this point, because to memorize everything in people's file
True.
for hundreds of crew members, or
True.
at least 100 crew
true.
members,
He's
in
very
just a couple of days is really, really good.
He's prepared for the job for sure.
Yeah.
But you know, you gotta have lunch with someone at least one time to be like, oh, I have a sense of like who you are.
Be careful with that in a Star Trek context, though. Captain Archer tried it and went terribly.
Yeah, lunches in the captain's quarters in Enterprise are always like filled with faux pas. Like one
Oh
of
yeah,
the
that
Vulcans
too.
would
I
look-
was referring to the Cretaceans, but yeah, that too. It didn't work with his own crew.
the Vulcans would leave angry, be like, "Why are you subjecting us to this like demeaning?"
Freaked Mr. Tactical Reed out of his mind.
Yeah, something always
Yeah.
goes wrong at the captains.
Next Gen also made a point out of why you don't get to know lower deckers, right?
You don't get emotionally attached to people you're going to send to die.
Yeah, basically.
Well,
Yes, you are
more
breaking up.
accurately,
Yeah,
Yes,
quite-
2 breakups.
more
They're
accurately,
quite
you,
specific in this scene about why they're breaking up. It's not because long distance relationships don't work. It's because they don't work for Adira.
I mean, that's good. That's a good observation. But I thought Gray was the one breaking it up, actually.
I mean, it kind of is because Adira doesn't want to.
Yeah,
But-
Adira doesn't want to be separate, and Gray's like, "Well, I don't want to be together."
Gray's making them think that it's their idea.
No, look, Gray has something he needs to do right now.
I
Which
think you're
is-
totally right that we should see other people. That was a great suggestion. Anyway, I'm gonna go hang out with Susie over there.
So
Oh
yeah,
my
the
God,
thing you
Jinaal,
can carry.
you're being so over dramatic.
I thought Gray just wanted to be like a monk on top of the Himalayas for a little bit with Susie over there. So I like how these species are herbivores, I guess. But you know, a Stegosaurus or a Triceratops would have mauled you pretty badly. So I don't know. I don't know how our heroes made it out of it alive in this one. And you see, they barely did.
Yeah, pretty sure a moose is an herbivore. Still don't want to mess with it.
No.
Yeah, hippo. The number one killer of humans, is hippos.
True.
As far as animals go.
I get
Elephants
how
can
hippos can be killers, but like, why are people
Isn't
hanging
that-
out next to hippos?
That was mosquitoes. Surely mosquitoes kill more people than hippos.
Our habitat kind of overlaps with
Or,
hippos.
or are we not counting like indirect causes of death?
No, the
I don't
hippos
know.
attack people. Like they kill. It's the number one killer in Africa, and number two is
I think he's implying that the spread of disease kills more people than the physical.
Yeah,
attack
malaria kills it.
of the
Hey,
hippos.
Mark, do
lot of
mosquitoes
people.
or hippos kill more humans per year?
But
well, we're talking about Africa specifically because there are no hippos in South America, and there's plenty of mosquitoes in South America.
Well, now, despite their unimposing size, the mosquito is a regular old Billy the Kid, claiming more lives annually than the hefty hippopotamus. One's a silent, deadly bandit, the other a deceptively lethargic river horse. The numbers clearly
I think
favor
that's
the pint-sized
Deceptively lethargic river horse.
yeah, but
Yeah,
I think
okay.
like that is like it's probably if you only like mosquitoes don't kill people like by attacking them, and also don't kill people on purpose as near as much.
the word hippopotamus literally means
The
river
hippo
horse.
is very
and
dangerous, though. Yeah,
So a hippo is horse. Potamus, Mesopotamia is rivers. Mesopotamia is land between the two rivers. We thought they'd be closer to horses, but if fun fact, whales are closer to hippos than hippos are to horses.
Whales are just cows that walked back into the water.
But
that's right. They're ungulates, aren't they?
so this is our favorite pirate couple.
She did say go.
Yeah.
Only these two could have solved this puzzle. Whoa. These things are not like Stegosauruses, like I remember. These things are more like the aliens from Starship Troopers, the insectoid killers.
They're arachnids.
Arachnids.
The
Thank
Starship
you.
Troopers are arachnids.
Gracias.
Yeah.
A cloaked bug.
With firefly eyes. With fly eyes.
Shoot it even harder. Get a bigger
So
gun.
it's a giant
Also,
fruit
the
fly.
not so subtle subtext of Starship Troopers is that we started the war.
Yep.
Well, it was a book by Robert Heinlein. Earth is militarists in general there.
Yeah, the book was something else altogether from the movie.
Yeah. Good reading, though. Everyone should read it. Robert Heinlein's one of the greatest sci-fi writers of all time.
If you
It's the
like a
same as last
neo-fascist
episode.
future.
Book and Michael hiding behind some rocks again from phaser fire.
He was a
Last
militarist.
episode
He
it was
was not a
drones, this episode it's
fascist.
bugs, but same deal.
Star Trek actually parallels Heinlein quite a bit. We do love our military in Star Trek. The military is the one institution we can trust.
What?
According to Star Trek.
Starfleet's not a military. Technically.
Yeah.
It's a heavily armed peacekeeping armada, they described it as.
A scientific
Peacekeeping armada.
peacekeeping.
Yeah. Ah, the progenitors are necromancers. Sick.
Yeah.
What if, Stamets, we've cured death a lot of times in Star Trek already. I'm not sure this is that much of a leap.
It also never goes well.
Oh, what do you mean? It goes well pretty often. They revive Kirk a few times. They revive
Yeah.
Captain Picard once or twice.
See, this is Tilly's command in action.
They revive
Like,
Data.
it was at my suggestion I told you to catch up with the crew, and you have royally pissed off the most brilliant scientist on the ship. So go F yourself, Commander Jellicoe.
Here's Tilly being fantastic. Censored by
was a
being
nice
20 words.
I really like that. That was a good line.
She's never that direct.
She's allowed to be more free with how she speaks, because she's planning to quit anyway.
Yeah.
He was also like pushed to the limit there. Yeah. Like I know how that is.
No, okay.
A reticent person can become less reticent if they're done with your shit.
In Rayner's defense, right? He is trying to pour through a mountain of information, and the scientist is just hypothesizing about how amazing this discovery is going to be. And you can give me your abstract theories later. Right now, I'm trying to get through a mountain of data. So, do you have any other information for me? Do you have any new information?
You said it earlier that there are people problems too. I mean, like he made it didn't make the same point, but like
next scene
no,
sees
I
Tilly
know,
in
like
the
I think
break.
like understanding that he has an asset in and his engineer, and you know, like cultivating his enthusiasm is actually important.
Okay, so Saru's making a big mistake here, not just for his relationship, but you don't concede to the xenophobes. It's a bad plan.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what Tarina has already decided.
You tell them.
That's so crazy. Like,
oh yes, we'll
years?
just screw over some of the refugees. Then you've conceded the point. The refugees are okay to screw over.
That's quite the bar.
Yeah. I'm gonna agree with you. It's about refugees, so.
What kind of messed up people would turn away refugees?
Okay.
A lot. 40.
It is actually very true. It doesn't hurt as much when you're not expecting it.
I think Spock would take issue with that.
Spock's not human fully, so it might be different for Vulcans. But
He's
human
half
beings,
human.
the brain decides what pain it should experience.
Somewhat.
For example, particularly with needles, if you're being injected with the needle, if it's something to save your life, for example, the doctor will probably do, I've got to count up to 3 and then do it before that point because it's not actually painful. Your brain thinks it's painful, but it's not actually painful. Because the needle's too small to actually affect your nerves.
Like, how often do you guys bump into something and instinctively say "ow" and then you go, "Oh no, that didn't hurt at all. I'm fine."
Yeah, it's as much a surprise as anything else.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like I like to cook on cast iron pans, so like sometimes like I'll grab a piece of cast iron, like the lid or something, and I'm like, "That's hot," and it turns out it's like very cold. So I do
Oh yeah.
tool my own because I have that threat
Stupid
matrix on, right? I don't want to
human
touch a
brain.
hot. I don't want to touch a hot pan, so I'd rather anticipate the pain than like. Oh, we're using the Quajon empathy power.
Yeah.
Yep.
Does
Magic
anyone
powers
do the
still
thing where you
come
blow
into
on
play.
ice cream before eating it?
No, I'm gonna have some ice cream now though. But why would you blow on it?
I think I've done that before. I remember just reading that about it in a tweet that some people do that.
I've done that.
It's just very interesting. The brain is like, yes, it's very temperature. Need to do something about that ice cream.
Yeah.
I know what to do
Well,
about this.
cold feels the same as hot.
Yes,
Sometimes,
people.
yeah.
it can. And for me, I swear, when the steam comes off of the cold, like the condensation from the intense amount of cold, I feel like there's steam coming. It looks like steam, and it throws me off visually too.
That is sublimation.
Oh, thank you. But I remember two people
Because
were
it was funny. LeMayo.
One person asked their partner to like brand them, and the partner didn't want to. So like he tricked her with an ice cube and just put it against her, even though it looked like he had a hot brand ready in his hand. And she passes out, and she's like, "Did you brand me? Because I didn't want you to actually brand me." And he's like, "No, I just put an ice cube." But the cold made her think it was hot, and then the pain made her pass out. But don't ask where I read that.
Yeah, me neither, dude. Yes, he would have.
Yes.
So in the Punisher movie, he pretended to take a blowtorch to a guy's skin, and he had a steak. He was taking the blowtorch to the steak, and then he was putting a popsicle on the guy's back and telling him that it's numb because it's killing the nerve endings instantly.
Poof.
Seems
So
rude.
he would take the blowtorch to the steak, so he would smell like the meat,
The cook.
and
Poof.
then he would put the popsicle on his back.
Ah.
That would convince me. I'm quite.
Yeah, it
certain
really
of
would. It really would.
But he can't
That would
do
convince
that.
you?
That's illegal.
Oh, it would. For sure.
So when I wanted to break up, I kind of meant I still love you.
I'm glad you came to realize exactly what she told you explicitly to your face.
Yeah.
Are you still mad?
One thing that's interesting about the Vulcan makeup is their eyebrows. They've always looked good, even though they're not human eyebrows.
I agree. Well, I think it's the original series. If you watch the remastered one, you do see the makeup on the human's eyebrows and
Yeah.
the fakeness. But in future, they always nail it really well. I agree.
Do they put like a flesh prosthetic over her real eyebrows, or do they actually make her shave them?
I don't know.
I think it depends on the actor. Yeah. In her case, it looks like they must have a prosthetic. Or that looks really good though. Maybe you could trim them and then put the plus makeup plus digital effects.
Hmm.
I mean,
we had one breakup. That was enough for one episode.
we had two breakups. We had okay. No, I see what you're saying. They got back
Technically,
together.
two people broke up, if that counts.
Yeah.
And now I get to
It'll screw me
die.
up for at least a few more episodes.
I'm happy for the actor because you've been in a relationship. Your job was to
Wait,
be
which
to like the
actor?
loyal husband. Dr. Culver.
Ah.
Because you never got to show off your great chest. You never got to be. You never got to be Kirk, just gallivanting through the galaxy. It's like that episode where Cisco talks about like being on Ryza with Curzon his first time around, and like how many romps they had, and you're like, what show am I watching? Like Curzon died of a heart attack during sex, basically. So that's the kind of show we watch. So I'm glad Dr. Culver got his groove back.
Culver got his groove back.
Yeah.
Freddy.
Still typecasting.
So there was a YouTuber who does philosophy videos, but then she became when you first started you thought it was a guy and he was doing philosophy tube, and then slowly they're in UK. They unveiled themselves as to be a trans person, and so now you have a woman doing your Kant and Nietzsche videos. And it's cool. But I even remember when they were just, they hadn't transitioned yet and they were still a guy. He used to wear like tight leather outfits and stuff. He used to say it's fun to sexualize yourself and just give like a really cute laugh.
It is.
But so Dr. Culver there, he was very sexualizing himself. And I feel like the actor had a great time.
You see, he remembered everything that they
Yep.
told him. He cares in his own distant, mean-spirited way.
Yeah, respect is important. I mean, she was fine until he told Stamets, like, don't waste my time, get out of here.
Yeah.
So she didn't mind the whole 20 words.
I mean, she was putting up with it. I think that was the last straw. I mean, she
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
minded.
Yeah, she minded. Yeah, you're correct, Jarings. Oh my god, the whiskey? No, come on, player.
But you're
Play
right.
on.
It was much worse to be to be an ass to Stamets in that way.
There was a
He was
song
being a
about the
real
way he's
season 1
drinking the
Stamets
whiskey.
in that scene.
Anyone here like whiskey?
Yeah, it's decent.
Yes.
Whiskey's all right.
What about you, Ryan?
I don't know.
Whiskey is one of those where you can drink it neat, but it's more a cocktail.
So-
mix.
I like it neat. Because I like intense experiences. So
I need ice with mine.
something
I know
that
you're not supposed
tastes
have
like
it
it's
with
about to
ice.
kill me is half the fun.
Yeah,
Well,
I
whiskey
know
on
you're not.
ice, it completely changes the flavor.
It does. I'm
Oh.
sorry, but
I'm like, why is
again?
my credit card bill
If
so
you
high
put
this month?
more whiskey on ice, it changes the flavor.
sorry. It's just
Oh, sure.
I need like a lot of water. I need it like nice and chill so I could taste.
I definitely. Then there's technique to how you make the flavor perfect with ice and things like that.
Okay. Oh, I like this part. His auntie,
Yeah.
like me, she studied all religions.
His abuela.
Yes, sorry. Thank you. But recreating your dead aunt in hologram AI form is a little too much, but I'm sure it'll be normal at one point in the future.
Did you ever see Altered Carbon?
No, you mentioned it
Oh,
last
yeah, it was a good
week in
show.
last stream though, but yeah.
The first season was good.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm sorry, I didn't like Anthony Mackie's version of the character. I have a hard time taking Anthony Mackie seriously because of his chin.
Yeah.
He's got like a very sharp chin. I look at him, it's all I can think, Ryan. I'm sorry. I'm like, oh, the chin.
Say that to his face, he'll poke your eyes out with it.
I'm like, that must be really uncomfortable to sleep with that pointy chin. I need a really
I'm looking
special
at a picture
pillow.
of him
That-
now. He just looks like a guy. I don't know what you mean. It's just
Anthony Mackie. It's a sharp chin. He doesn't have a square jaw. He's a very
I mean,
sharp.
kind of, I guess, a little.
And now we have a funeral.
That is.
All good things must come
It's
to
a
an end.
very. It's a very. It's a very. What's? I don't know how to describe it. Like it comes to a point. You know.
It's not. I don't know. I think Bruce Campbell still wins the chin off.
The
I think
chinniest chin
Saru wins
of all the
the
chins.
pointiest chin.
Yeah.
Wait, who wins? Who wins? Bruce Campbell or Jay Leno?
Oh.
We're not talking about pointy chins. We're talking about just big, giant chins. Let's see.
Oh, then
Yeah, Leno.
that's
yeah,
the
Leno's is
Brian Thompson.
big, but it's not as. I don't know.
If you want big chins, Brian Thompson, the
It's kind of his whole
from
face is that
TNG.
is big though. Like.
Oh man,
No, it's true. He does give a run for his money.
Jay Leno looks pretty rough. I guess he had an accident. He was all bruised up.
Michael's meditating Vulcan style. I never noticed that. I thought she gave up the whole Vulcan thing when she got to this century.
You gotta get Bruce Campbell from Army of Darkness when he got his face sucked by the false Necronomicon.
Oh.
Remember that?
So I wanted to say something about the season. So TNG's Chase was a 2-part episode, one of the best last season too, by the way. So I really like that they stretched it out over a whole season. It was a cool way to honor a really well written episode, especially for the character of Picard, right? Because his mentor is an archaeologist named Galen. So it honors professors Richard Galen and his legacy. It honors TNG.
Which also, just as a side note, is the name that Picard took in the Die Hard episode when he didn't want to reveal that he was the
Yeah.
captain.
Right. Right.
The Die
And
Hard
also-
episode.
Starship Mine.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Galen was a Roman philosopher, doctor, actually. He wrote a book on medical.
Oh, sure.
and
Trill
what
Security's
help-
got this. Absolutely worthless.
Yeah.
But
I
he's
didn't expect them to come in as different people.
he's also contemporaneous with the rise of Christianity. So from him, we get the idea of like how the Romans looked down on like Christianity as like a philosophical, you guys believe you're gonna go to heaven. That's why you do good things. It's a little strange to them.
All right, so next episode, Face the Strange, which is a weird title for a pretty good episode. It's about going back in time and confronting earlier, meaner versions of ourselves.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
We get to see season 1 Michael with her short hair, and season 1 Stamets with his being a huge jerk, and not season 1 Captain Lorca. Maybe Jason Isaacs is just too expensive? I don't know.
Yeah. It's the second time.
It's not too bad. I wish we got to meet Prime Lorca.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I
4,
didn't
3,
miss.
2, 1, play.
What was he filming at this time? 'Cause it was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's probably busy with the schedule.
The only other thing I know he's been in recently was Boulder's Day, but he's on that for 2 days.
He still doesn't even
Fear
sound
fact.
like Jason Isaacs to me. Flashing images. Viewer discretion is advised. Oh, subtitles on. Okay. Is this relevant to the plot, them breaking? Oh, it is relevant to the plot, them breaking up. Because she's going to
Yeah.
go back to when they weren't.
That's kind of why I actually skip recaps these days. Like,
Yeah.
It spoils what's going to happen by telling you what's relevant.
yeah, exactly. So, like, I remember when I was watching Andor, I was very happy that I was skipping the recaps because, like, an old character would show up and it'd be a surprise, like, and it's like not like I'm not capable of remembering the characters from a television show. So yeah, Game of Thrones didn't have recaps for like the first 2 or 3 seasons. That was a lot of faith in the audience.
Let's see, Andor Season 2 coming out April 2025. April 22nd, 2025.
Finally.
Yeah.
We're almost there.
Oh, that's right. And
Second Truth tomorrow.
Severance is, I think, next month. Finally. Been waiting for that about as long as Andor. Maybe not quite as long. Forever.
You failed me for the last time, Admiral. Ah, we found the flashing images. So if he didn't try to rip you off, this would just be straight murder. Well, it is straight murder anyway, but even less justified murder.
Maybe they had the antidote on hand. So they could have been like, "Oh, you decided not to be a tweet about it."
Also, you gonna take the latinum back, or is it too poisoned? Okay, no, he doesn't care. He's fine with this.
They are bad guys, even though they're more interesting than many bad guys are. More, you root for them a little bit, but they're still bad guys.
Do you root for them? They're kissing over a corpse of someone whose flesh they just rotted.
I know.
I mean, it's not great. Also, that's 3D printed.
No, it isn't great. No, but I think, like, as we go on and we learn, like, why they're going through what they are.
They're still talking to each other.
Like, they're definitely meant to be at least somewhat sympathetic. But yes, not very sympathetic, given the whole corpse bit. That makes them interesting about it, guys.
They're not even on duty, Stamets. You can't make them work. I did notice here, I think the reason that he cut OO off is because OO clearly doesn't know what she's talking about, because she talked about a Polarin beam. What's a Polarin scan? It's a Polaron. It's a different thing. I wonder if...
Bridge crew have changed back.
Yeah, if we just cycle between old and new bridge crew, I guess. I do wonder, like, if the people who are filming notice when actors mispronounce things and just go, it's not worth it, just keep going.
It's the director's job to check that, and the director of photography as well. Unless
Alright,
they
who
have someone
directed
I
this?
don't love them
do it.
beaming from room to room.
So, I get why they do beam room to room, because this conference room is nowhere near the bridge.
Yeah.
Because
But
what is
well, they
near
could
the
use
bridge?
the ready room, couldn't they?
The ready room is a tiny little office for Lorca.
Yeah, but there are only two of them.
They could go to the ready
they
room
can have
because
it.
it's just them two. Or maybe the ready room just isn't soundproof and they don't want the bridge crew hearing the marketing.
It better be soundproof. I mean, that's a concern all the time.
Also, do we learn why this dude has cat ears? Like cat that got into a fight? Is that because of the emerald chain?
I don't know.
CG looks a little wonky there.
Hmm.
It looks good in these close-ups, and that wide shot it was kind of weird.
Well, it's really hard. Well, actually, I suppose they would have replicated the set digitally.
See,
What would you
this,
say on your way when you're just going to beam over there? Like, you're practically there already.
well, apparently they're not on their way. Apparently it would have been better if they just
Yeah.
walked from room to room.
Yep.
Walking's lame. God. I'd trade out my legs for a teleporter.
Oh yeah, no, I get like it makes sense for the characters to do that, but I just well, it's the same problem with as fast travel in games. You start to lose track of the place as a place.
Hmm.
It's all just disconnected sets.
Oh, it's the Red Angel bit. All right. It's been a while since we've had a good time travel episode. The last one was in season 2. 3 whole years we've been waiting for another time travel episode.
More than that, because of filming times.
No, we had the Harry Mudd episode. Is that what you're counting as 3 years?
Yes, which was longer than
Okay.
3 years ago, as mentioned.
Okay.
That was 4 seasons ago.
Well,
That was
it was
really fun,
season
though.
2, but yeah, because
Okay.
Was it?
delays and yeah.
You're messing me up.
Wait, was it? No, it was season 1. No, it was. Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
4 years ago, plus
That's so
filming
crazy.
delays.
You know, the
Yeah, after
pandemic.
that they decided not to do any more like self-contained episodes like that. It was very frustrating.
But then by this point, Strange New Worlds was on then, right?
Strange New Worlds
No,
started, yeah.
not season 1.
No, but this
Season
point.
5.
Yes.
Oh, this season 5, yeah. I mean, this was
So,
this year.
We were doing.
Oh, yes.
We were doing time travel episodes, like last year, like in the last season of this
You
time.
mean like the lower decks?
I guess I wouldn't be counting Lower Decks, not to dismiss Lower
Captain
Decks.
Kirk
No, the
falling in
Lower
love
Decks
with
crossover.
Lieutenant Naan.
Yeah.
Laan? Not Naan, that's bread.
Oh yeah, there was that one too. Yeah.
Yep.
Hot dog episode.
Yeah, and then Picard was doing a lot of time travel too, but like around that.
Yeah,
time.
there's not really a lot to say about that episode.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah, this is actually really well done time travel because most time travel episodes are like, we don't care how it was done. You know, it could be the slingshot effect. It could be a board cube.
Oh, Tilly almost hit the rocks.
I like that Maul and Locke have this like bug that we don't know what's it about.
Wait a second. If they're out of sync with this time and they can't be detected, how do the doors still work for them?
They can be detected.
But Michael just said they can't hear us, they can't see us. What are the doors?
No,
open?
as in they can't be allowed to hear or see us.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But she beats up her criminal self in a little bit, which is a great
Yeah.
girl on girl scene.
Ah, flashing lights.
But also yeah, the pandemic was 18 months long. It totally skews
San
our sense of
Francisco.
time. This is cute. So he's the guy who's like building the ship.
It's a surprise inspection, crewman.
It's like in Star Trek the motion picture. Like, hey, nothing comes until Tuesday. So
God, he's being mean to people unnecessarily. Why? He was already leaving. You didn't need to break his spirit.
No, I think the whole point was to buy them more time because they would be trying to clear up that deck.
yeah. But did Enterprise do this, or did Kelvin Timeline, Chris Pine, Kirk do this? You go back to where the Enterprise was being built.
When it
We
was
saw
being
the Enterprise
built.
being built in 09.
Okay, right. Gracias.
Voyager, we flashed back to when it was in dry dock
Yes.
just after being built.
No, not even dry dock. It was their first mission when they were leaving. No, yeah, when Admiral Paris was sending them off or something.
Something
We
like
also
that.
go back to in time when 7 of 9 was doing stuff.
I remember that because she uses the name of a star, which is like an Arabic name. So it's like I always try to pick up the fact that Arabs did a lot of the measurement of stars and
This
angles.
Did he really need the
1,000
star date for that, Michael? I mean, just look out the window. This only
Yeah.
happened once.
It's like I don't understand why people do this. Like to go home, you're gonna put your GPS on. Like you know exactly how to go home.
I do that.
Yeah, but that's basically look outside,
Look,
drive.
if I can go back to the good place for a moment, I have something doctors call directional insanity.
Hmm.
I don't know where anything is, man.
Funny.
Smart.
These bad guys are really bad guys. Because do you remember that when they kill like a double crossing merchant or something? He's like, we know you demand more money after you get the money. So we covered the latinum in poison.
I kind of like that. Right, just going. Okay, yeah, we know. The show's gotten a little bit weird at this point. It's fine.
Oh, I thought they
That's
were
very
just.
fun.
I thought they were just reusing the shot to pad the time a little bit. No, this is a whole new scene.
Yeah, because he didn't say scary bug before, right?
No, there were no scary bugs in season 2. I guess Control being evil was a bug.
Yeah. It was a glitch in the Matrix.
Yeah, I don't recognize what's going out the window because it's nothing. What's the star date? Well, it's 865 something, but I don't know what the relevance is.
I also like Rainier's ears. Also, you know, one really great scene. Sorry, were you gonna say something, right?
Fortunately, the computer is a Starfleet computer, and it's not going to alert anyone that there's suddenly 2 new people on the ship or 2
There is.
Captain Michaels.
So they're probably up to some good time cop stuff.
Is that can alter the future? We just killed a guy.
This is like, oh, okay.
Eh, not in a big way.
You're allowed to kill
Well-
henchmen in the past.
Yeah,
Well, these are
Like-
Osiris henchmen specifically. They kill them anyway.
yeah.
But also, like, in Picard season 2, when a bunch of military guys got Borgified, they're just henchmen. Who cares? Kill them.
Hmm. Reno!
Mhm.
Is that a reference? Commander Locke? Like, I know there's a character in Halo called Commander Locke, but seems
Lock
unlikely
and
to be a
Maw.
reference.
Yeah, I think it's just like the first name that came to mind.
He just literally took the name of the person they're
He would
pursuing.
never. She doesn't even care. She's seen it before. So what is that thing? Is that a replica of the Kirshara? There's a little triangle sculpture thing. This on the left. Nope, it's gone again. The camera keeps moving.
Calypso.
Oh, is this Calypso? Yes, it is. I guess. Yeah, it's got to really
You know,
suck
there-
to be Zora.
Yeah.
If you're if you're really in the past, why wouldn't you just leave a note to yourself, just saying, "Do not trust Lock and Maw on Trill," or something like that?
Oh,
It's a
no, it's
time
not
loop,
Dwight
Zora.
Calypso. This is what happens when the Breen get it.
They destroy the Federation.
Yeah.
Okay, so not Calypso.
Calypso's like 1,000 years in the future. This is 30.
This is Federation murder, not send
Yeah.
ship away.
She was pretty happy in Calypso. Why she gotta be such a
Was
Debbie
she?
Downer here?
He was very lonely in Calypso.
Yeah, you gotta shower with. What more do you want?
Also using the time episode to hammer home the stakes.
Um,
A tragic but avoidable future.
you know, we went through so much to save Earth last season. Now the Federation doesn't survive.
Yeah, attempting to learn things by traveling in the future does also seem like it would mess with the temporal prime directive.
Mhm.
Or at least you're counting on people in the future not respecting the temporal prime directive.
Also, what's the mechanism for how long we're going to stay in which timeline? Because it seems to be long enough to learn the plot.
Well, that's going to be a
do
plot
explain
point.
don't
it
know.
later on.
Those
This
could
reminds
be
you of
your
the
own ashes,
Stargazer.
Michael, that you just picked up.
Yeah. It's like the Stargazer when the Ferengi sold it back to Picard.
Okay, Michael, we really don't have time to reminisce. We've got.
I mean, Picard got
Got things to
so emotional on the bridge of the Stargazer.
Picard was being psychically manipulated to be overly emotional on the bridge.
True. There was that big orb.
The spheres control starships and they control people.
Mhm. These two actually make a good team. I actually have a lot of respect for Raynor. He just needs to like chill with the 20 seconds, the 20 words thing.
Space time. Do we get to see the space-time diagram? Kind of.
Oh, I just popped my neck, and it was very satisfying.
Congrats. Hey, he's alive. Are we back to season 1?
Is he
No,
though? Is he though?
Yes.
Are any of us really alive?
Yeah. I know for myself that I'm alive. I guess I don't know about you guys.
Yeah. Are you a solipist?
All I know is I
Solipsist.
think, therefore I am.
Solipsism is the philosophical position that you can't know of anything for sure.
Except
even
that
when-
your own existence.
No, not even
Solipsism
that.
is, of course, a reference
Well,
to The Good
that's
Place
explicitly
season
what
4
solipists are.
Good.
with Simone. Is anybody really a solipsist? That feels like a crazy person
me,
thing
I-
to believe.
I end the conversation because it's like you can't engage in any philosophy if your response to everything is how do we know we're not just in a virtual reality? And I'm like, okay, well, the sun's gonna
It's
come
not
up
a
tomorrow.
useful
It's actual main character syndrome.
Yeah. And it's also
Everybody else is an NPC.
functionally whether we live in a simulation or whether it's real doesn't change anything about our day to day. No, you still got to go to work. You still got to do everything.
Are you stuck in a time loop right now?
You're crazy, girl.
Oh yeah, she's very very perceptive.
You should just tell her you are. She can help. Come on.
Well,
Does anyone have a recommendation for a hot air soldering station?
If you're ever stuck in a time loop, just ask about the quality of shrooms you
There we
just
go.
took.
So my gas company, they charge you a $3 service fee for paying with a credit card, but they don't disclose that until you actually submit the payment. So they show you a total, and then you submit the payment, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're adding $3."
Cool.
That's got to be against the law, right?
I'm pretty
should
sure it's against
disclose
the
that
law in
before you
California.
submit. So, I just think it should be against the law for them to charge you $3 to use a credit card to pay with a credit card. It's kind of ridiculous. What I discovered was that my late fee, like my gas bill is like $20 a month, if that. My late fee is like 40 cents. So I was just like, yeah, I'll just let the late fee pile up, and then I'll pay once every like 4 months.
Oh,
just seems
that's
irresponsible.
why he didn't want to tell Reno what's going on.
Yeah.
Because it's
Temple Prime
cheaper.
Director.
It's cheaper to pay the late fee than it was to pay $3 every month to pay with a credit card. And I could pay with a bank account, but I don't feel like I should be compelled to pay in a way that they want me to. You know what I mean? Let's be nimble. Let's be quick.
I'm curious what happened
Jump.
in the original. Well, it's hard to discuss. The original time they were time looping, that they failed to escape the time loop. It's like, surely they would get all the same info?
Too bad that one of them doesn't have a positronic brain. They could send a message between loops. You know, a brief.
Then Jet Reno
small
could run a
message.
pattern matching algorithm on the number 3. It's the worst line in TNG.
I did love that solution, even though the idea of a pattern matching algorithm on the number 3 was silly. But that solution to the problem of sending the number 3 back was so good.
That was a great episode.
So good.
Imagine if you knew
4, 3, 2, 1.
if you knew that everything was looping always, the things you could do. Imagine Riker just
God, Riker.
setting Riker loose.
Yeah. Oh man, that would be a bad plan.
Remember that outtake where he's chasing that woman down the corridor?
Tracy.
Yeah.
It'd be that.
Poor Tracy.
I think that Freights is just having fun.
Yeah, he was having. But what we're saying is, if Riker knew that every day it reset, what would Riker do on the Enterprise?
Yeah.
It's like Riker Unchained.
Well, Jack O'Neill kisses Sam Carter.
Yeah, I mean, did they have a thing though? Did they ever have a thing? I don't think they ever really had a thing.
They never actually ended up in a relationship in the Prime timeline.
Right. So what was that? Were they thinking about that? Were the writers kind of playing around with that idea, and they just never did it?
There is talk on it. There's a video on YouTube about it. I haven't actually watched that one at the moment.
Oh, you haven't watched it. Oh.
But yeah, there's stuff.
Hopefully this all gets reset.
It was a good episode.
This isn't just in their memory.
What's interesting is actually one of the first time loop episode that I'm aware of that came out after Groundhog Day. So they name dropped Groundhog Day in it.
So I don't know if we
it was
talked
structured
about
as they usually are with one person outside of the loop.
I don't know if
two people, but
I don't know if we discussed Groundhog Day before, but at the time they were filming Groundhog's Day, Bill Murray and Harold Ramis had a falling out, and Bill Murray hired a personal assistant who didn't speak English and would only communicate to the production through the personal assistant, which he did just to frustrate.
Wow, that is some pettiness right there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if anyone's upset that we didn't get a Ghostbusters 3, just know that it was 100% Bill Murray's fault. He wouldn't do it. He didn't want to do Ghostbusters 1 He only did it because I think John Belushi died. They was going to be John Belushi, and it was going to be instead of Ernie Hudson, it was going to be what's his name? The guy from Coming to America, Eddie Murphy. So just imagine how Ghostbusters would have been if it was Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, Eddie Murphy, and John Belushi. But he did Ghostbusters on the proviso that they would film. He did like a dramatic movie that I guess just didn't get very good reviews or wide release or something. Like he wanted to be like a dramatic
3.
actor, not a comedy actor.
3. Of course,
kinda
Lork
too
is
bad.
away
I
on a
mean,
mission.
I mean, it'd be
seen enough
highly inconvenient if
dramatic
Lorca
movies
was
with
on the ship right now.
comedians in lead roles that people should try it more often.
Hmm.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is a good example.
Close enough. So this plan does seem insane. It does sound more like they're just going to kill themselves than solve the problem.
Yeah, that's why they thought to do it in one
So-
go as well, because it caused some massive damage to the ship at least.
One
take.
way to stop the loop. If he had one shot.
Like
What's that
the
Eminem song?
What did you
I
do?
don't
with
remember
your
the one
head?
shot, one opportunity bit. We're gonna get the Burnham fight in a second.
I don't think you're a mutineer at all.
Linus is chill.
Yeah,
Is she wearing the future uniform? Is that why he said that?
Yes.
here's
See,
Burnham.
there's
Not the blue.
as opposed to this, Michael. So I assume Michael has heard of
I'm you from
temporal
the future.
shenanigans before. Come on.
The Vulcan Science Academy does not believe in temporal.
The Vulcan Science
temporal
Directorate has
mechanics.
determined that time travel is unfair.
I am you from the future. The really, really, really far future.
Yeah.
Your future, not so far. The future relative to the timeline, very far. For you, 5 years. For everybody else, 600.
You call yourself Burnham?
Yeah, she talks about herself
Yeah.
in the third person all the time. You don't want to do that. I really, really do. She wants to beat herself up over all the bad choices she made, and this is her one opportunity.
It's a decent double fight. So the reason why it's a fast chart fight is because it means that you can stop who is who.
Yeah, so far I haven't noticed the stunt doubles.
It's because they did a deep fake face swap on them.
No, they're definitely cutting to make it so that so that she can be both, Sonequa can be both.
Sure. But then when they accidentally mess up, they just deep fake.
Hmm.
No, Michael, this isn't the time for a pep talk. You only have a few minutes. Go.
Also, you're hoping that she's never going to hear this or remember this.
That shot didn't quite look natural there.
Hmm.
When you could see both their faces.
So I drank a whole bunch of lemonade and now I have heartburn.
Well, stop.
That happens.
But it's so delicious. I keep drinking. That's normal procedure for
that's
him.
just typical for
Yeah,
season one.
I
That's
love-
just
Yeah.
him.
Stamets just doing
Yeah,
an impression
everyone-
of himself is great.
I was a tad more surly pre-tardigrade DNA.
He's right.
Yep.
Did the tardigrade DNA change him then?
It did, yes, because he started seeing other dimensions and timelines, and it got weird.
Mhm.
He got weird, huh?
That was the time when his eyes were made of glitter, and he was really overly friendly with everybody.
Do you
I'm thinking
remember
about
the?
McKay's lines right now, where I'm not under the threat of impending doom right now, so I'm not going to work that as quickly. And then 11, not yet.
So, you remember the scene where he looks in the mirror and he has like this moment where it's like you don't know if it's an evil Stamets or a good Stamets, and then they never did anything with it.
That was just a reference to them being in the mirror universe. But yeah, they never explained that at all. Like, how did that work?
Yeah.
Why was there a ghost? No, don't give him a pep talk. We're busy.
I think the Connie refit has really grown on me as of late.
Wait, he said a couple
I was
of
never
old
super
dogs.
fond
Stamets
of
is
it.
like 35. And what are you wearing? What did you do with your hair?
Yeah. And Specialist Burnham, why are you wearing Captain's Pits? So we've got Detmer and Aurora here in this scene, but we don't have them at other points in the series.
Unconscious, not dead.
I know she's fine. I assaulted her.
Hey. Season 1
Well, no,
Michael
she's
is
counting
soft
on
at
them.
season
They
5
know
Michael.
what a violent loose cannon Michael Burnham is, so it's very believable that she attacked her.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sure, whatever you say, Burnham. We know who you are right now.
Why? You never even really hung out in the original timeline.
Yeah, but remember, she's the one who causes her to be blown out of the air socket, out of the space station. So they were close because
Don't tell her that. Well, I guess if this is the time cycle, then it's
why would this convince her of anything?
I don't know.
because
Arian knows that she would.
Oh, that's why it's convincing.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing with the snoring, right? Like you would know someone.
Well, that's referring to her, like that's convincing because it's something that happened in the past.
Kayla, in 523 days, you're going to be traumatized when you crash the spaceship into an ice planet.
Yeah, but she's also kind of hinting to them the future. That's how she's convincing them too. In the future, we were friends. We are friends.
We'll be friends.
Sorry, I don't know how.
We are friends. We're friends.
I hate time travel.
We'll be friends.
I hate temporal mechanics, as O'Brien said.
Here we go.
Temporal tomfoolery.
The past is the present right now, so that's why my
Can-
tenses
Get him,
are all
Reese.
confused.
Take him down.
Can you ask? Can you ask Mark what he thinks about temporal
season 1 of
tomfoolery?
Discovery. So he's suddenly here in this episode. I don't think we actually see his actor in season 1.
Didn't we? I thought he was there.
Can you ask Mark Twain what he feels about temporal tomfoolery?
Could you be more specific?
Temporal tomfoolery.
That's
it. Temporal mechanics, and their foolishness.
Temporal tomfoolery.
Okay, but first I want to note, I looked it up and Reese was in season 1.
Ah.
Hey, Mark, how do you feel about temporal tomfoolery? He's probably a fan. Mostly because I told him he's
Well,
a
he
fan.
wrote
tomfoolery as
a
exhilarating
Yankee
as
in
a
King Arthur's
humpback's
court.
breach. It's a waltz with time, twists, and twirls worthy of any Mississippi riverboat dance. It's what makes watching Star Trek Discovery brighter than 10 comet streaks.
Yeah.
Doesn't know how to deal with a colon in a title.
Yeah. Have you read Kinetic Yankee in King Arthur's Court?
No. Why?
It's very patronizing to people from the past. It's like, wow, these simpletons don't even understand the concept of line. It's like it hasn't been invented yet.
And now we have a
The
change
concept
in
of what?
Rainer, who's
Line.
convincing him by his knowledge.
Really? That bad,
Kinetic
huh?
Yankee treats people from the distant past like, not just like they didn't know a lot, but that they were physically incapable of understanding things because they were just too primitive and stupid.
Wow.
Is that not true?
That probably has something to do with attitudes toward cultures that were seen as more primitive at the time.
Like, it's an entertaining story, but it's a little sketch.
It's problematic when put through modern morals and stuff.
It's not even about modern morals. It's just Mark Twain was being kind of an idiot. Like, of course people from the past are capable of independent thought.
And lying. Like, that's kind of impressive.
Like, one of the first scenes when he shows up in the court and people are like, oh, who are you? What claims to fame do you have to be in King Arthur's court? You just make stuff up and they're like, yeah, sounds legit. All right, you're in. You're cool. What was that sound? What just beeped at me?
That's the
Was that a
sound from washing
Was that a
machine.
washing machine?
That was a Samsung Big Bang washing machine.
Okay.
I don't know if it was a Samsung washing machine.
2 washing machines.
2 washing machines.
Did they later explain that none of these time changes happen or something?
Yes.
As long as
Okay.
whatever cycle they're currently in at the time it breaks is not canon. It saves its changes every time it goes through the reset. So what is canon is that Stamets walked into engineering a few times and yelled about a spore breach.
Oh, yeah.
His hand is like effed up, eh?
Probably put it in the time vortex. Yeah, it's not great. Oh, you're not. Go to sickbay, man. Come on. Can he fix it? Is he going to de-age your hand?
It's like, remember when Picard stuck his hand towards the bowl in Timescapes?
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Remember, you always establish with people close to you what your safe word is for time travel. If an 80-year-old version of you pops out of thin air and tells you the secret word, you know it's legit. Michael, I feel like I need to point out again that we are in a race. Maybe we should keep going. I think what would solve that for me is if out the window, it was just like the warp trails going by.
Oh, yeah.
Just showing that we're going somewhere, but we've got some downtime while we're traveling. They're just hanging out.
They spent like 2 minutes talking before they did the other thing.
And how many minutes does the finale get messed up by? Every single time there's one of these time-sensitive chase sequences, you get there at the same time as the bad guys, within like 5 minutes of each other. Oh, yep, they de-aged his hand. He's fine. He's changed. He respects people now.
I mean, not
There's
really, but
quite a change in him in this episode of connecting with people.
He's grown as a person.
One eye. And next week's episode.
Next time on Star Trek Discovery, we do...
next time on Ryan's Edits Star Trek Stream.
Let's see, Mirrors. What is Mirrors about?
It's catching up with Mo and Locke.
Yeah, they confront Ma and Locke, and they have a shootout and a punch-up, and they talk to each other. Okay. Whistles speak. We go to the planet of primitives, who probably wouldn't be able to understand anything because they're too primitive and stupid.
And they do child sacrifice.
Yeah.
To a weather control device. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Yep.
And then Eriga, where we get Locke's backstory.
Mm-hmm.
Cool beans. Presumably in one of those episodes we figure out what species this is. Probably in Eriga, but... Well, maybe in Mirrors, actually.
Yes, the first time we see Breen without their masks on. Helmets and things.
They've always been an enigma. No, apparently they're goo people. They're not like furry or something. They're just
Furries. What?
because the old Breen suits look like the thing that Princess Leia disguised herself as to sneak into Jabba's palace.
Yes.
And for some reason, it's been a while since I've seen that movie. But
They're refrigeration suits, apparently.
wasn't
Go
there
ahead.
like fur sticking out of her suit a little bit? Like fake fur?
I don't
She's supposed to
know.
be
I bet we
furry
can find
princess?
that clip.
I can find that clip.
I remember she goes, Yoto, Yoto.
What was that episode?
Get through a
6?
voice synthesizer. That was Return of the Jedi, the very beginning, episode 6. Yes.
Okay, let's see. I have it open. Let me see if I can find Leia.
Jeez, a lot happened in that film.
Not as much as Rise of Skywalker. That was 2 films crunched into 1 film. There was a whole movie just to course correct Last Jedi, and then a whole movie to finish the story.
Yeah.
So I found Leia, but it's also really dark and I can't see anything.
Well, you gotta wait till they turn the lights on. There you go. So. No, too far. I think your copy is just really dark because I remember this being much brighter
Yeah.
when I saw it in the theaters.
I think this is supposed to be HDR, and HDR is always really wonky.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
but
certainly wonky when you're passing it through to things.
this stream is over. Everyone leave. Be gone.
Have a good one.
Dang it.
Okay.
See ya.